With this memoir, we have a journalist who became a New York Times bestselling author after she was able to channel her grief from losing family, friends, and her husband in quick succession. As she gained recognition for her writing, her unique connections to American history, and because she lived in New York City, she then added Real Housewife to her resume. But just because she was on a show doesn't mean she stopped writing. In fact, she also delivered a fictional novel that definitely ended up playing into some arguments that she had with other cast members. And with my background in reading so many other celebrity memoirs from both housewives, serious actors, comedians, singers, you name it, I feel I am ready to judge. Did she use a ghostwriter? Or is this all her own original idea? The style of writing that we get in this novel is very similar to the style of writing that we get in the memoir. It seems that her writing style is one in which she pulls from her own life, so of course there's tons of similarities, even in this fictionalized telling of a widow who is getting back to dating after the sudden loss of her husband. While they're both widows, the character in this story is a journalist, but her husband seems to be a completely different man than who the author originally married. Now, trying to put this book into a category, I would call this a weird romance. Personally, the men that she has an option of dating in this book are not ideal and just personify tons of red flags. When you find out the circumstances of the husband who left her behind and how he passed, kind of leaves you with the feeling of good riddance. And as our main character moves on to dating after being with this man for so long, you want her to get some, except for every single guy that she's coming across doesn't really seem like they're worth it. This book was published in 2015, so some of the blurbs that you might see on it compare it to a Sex in the City for widows, which just goes to show that she was ahead of her time, seeing as how that is the spoiler alert plot for the reboot of the show. Not the Real Housewives of New York City, of course, but just like that. Another thing that I liked about this book is that it starts out in Austin and really captures the surrealness of being in the state, especially with the tragic circumstances. So, would I call this a romance? No. Would I call it a comedy? Yes. And this is probably no hard feat. When compared to the other Real Housewives, so far, Carol is the best writer of the group. So, what of it? Have you read the book? Do you think she was using a ghostwriter? Or do you think she just utilized an editor?